Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the On Time, On Target morning brief where we invest with fighter pilot precision every day. Welcome to Monday morning. We have a great show for you today. Obviously, this will be a continuation of the Wall Street Bets / Reddit event that's going on. A lot of money's being made. It's seemingly no money's being lost unless you're a hedge fund. That may or may not hold into this week, but it's certainly interesting. And there's new targets under the hammer from the Wall Street Bets crew. So we're going to, largely from a wealth building perspective, I think this is what I would call a sideshow. However, if you are looking to get out there and trade and make a quick buck, there's no doubt that these stocks are on the move. There's no doubt that you can hop in there and, a trader needs a stock to move. So these are in motion. There's a couple more we're going to talk about today, being silver and iconic brands. So with that, we're also going to end up with our question of the day, which is what is margin? We've heard about the hedge funds using, 15x margin or whatever, but we're going to talk about what day traders use, a little more normal type margin levels and kind of how all that works. So you can understand how it affects the overall market. With that, if you're catching us on replay, thanks so much for subscribing. Make sure you hit the notification bell to get notified when I go live with this, or when I upload this every day. And also, if you'd like to join us in the mornings, it costs $25 a month to hop on in. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the morning brief. Here we go. As far as our morning brief line, make sure you have your Q&A window set up as well as your chat window set up. I do have the trades in the chat. I have a special category called WSB longs because those are what the Wall Street Bets system is calling, not what I call here with the trading program that I use in particular. So if you do take one of those, you're not generally going to use the same parameters that I throw out every day. But if you want to, we can adjust those parameters and we'll take a look at them today. All right, standard disclaimer applies. This is a financial education presentation. You have to do your own due diligence before acting upon anything you hear in this presentation. Full disclaimers available at ototnow.com. Now let's get started. Our mission objectives out there today for February. Can you believe it's February already? Moving fast. And is life getting back to normal? Not necessarily. Right? Vaccines rolling out. SNL made fun of the vaccine rollout. It is getting out there into people. And again, with the 2 shots and 3 weeks delay, there's a lag. But as far as whether we are back to normal by summer, I'm starting to think so. So maybe that's the optimist in me, but we shall see. All right, we're going to grow our money, protect our money, and live off our money. Today, we're talking about growing our money through what Wall Street Bets continues to do. I would say there's some bigger questions out there. Is there a systemic threat to the market? Are they going to bring the market down? No, they're trading. Still, what the trading they're doing is, I would imagine, I don't have any data to support that, but the high frequency trading that's going on in the world normally, I mean, they're adding some volume, but not an unbelievable amount of volume out there. But I do think what it may bring, a secondary effect out of this, is taxation. There was talk of taxing, putting a 10-cent tax on any high frequency trader out there. That bill was actually supported some years back. Chamath P. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but the hedge fund manager that's now running for governor of California announced that last week, is talking about bringing that back, and that would cut down on a lot of this high frequency stuff. So we're talking millions of shares. So you and I aren't going to hit that, but the taxing the high end folks here for that sort of thing. So it's kind of interesting. I think something like that could actually come out of this. So we're going to talk about what Wall Street Bets is saying about Silver and Icon. This is secondhand. I'm not going in there myself, but phone's blowing up this morning to go long on these. I don't trade for my clients, but they're in there telling me that this is the keys to wealth today. Get rich today on these names, but you can trade them if you want. We'll certainly have them pulled up and take a look at it. Question today is, what is margin? We already talked about that in the open. We'll come back to that at the end of the show. Our flow today: long, short, open, short, long. We're going to go around market review. It's coming off a big weekend. Futures are up big. You know, all the people that are calling for the correction, the crash of the market, this is 2000 all over again. All those people were on fire this weekend, telling us about the gloom and doom, and and then the futures Monday morning after a big down day. Guess what we have? Buy the dip, big up day. Yep, standard. All right, guess the world's not ending. After all, who knew? I did, but they won't let you on CNBC to say, hey, the world's actually not ending, because they prefer to put people on that say it is ending. We're going to take a look at the headlines this morning. Again, a lot of it's got to do with silver. Now that we're not talking just a crappy company that should be out of business that they're, making this huge market cap on. We're talking actual commodity now. So what's the impact if Wall Street Bets runs up the price of silver to somebody that actually uses silver as part of their supply chain? Yeah, they're not affecting just the hedge funds now. They're affecting like manufacturers. And that could bring some ire that I don't know if they necessarily have fully thought through. Do mobs fully think through things? I don't know. Flash mob investing is kind of interesting, but certainly if the generals haven't thought of the secondary consequences to running up a commodity, I bet they find out today. Maybe we shall see. All right, long-term investments will of course follow GameStop and AMC. We'll pull those charts and kind of follow along where those have been. But silver and Icon are the two today, and then volatility. With all the options out there, volatility is spiking. So we'll take a look at VXX, and then, of course, what's going on in the world of Bitcoin. Contingencies and academic resources are standard. All right, let's take a look at TD Ameritrade, at where we've been and where we are going. So here's the overall SPY. Yeah, we've sold off here some. Yeah. Am I worried? No. Again, I generally don't get worried until the 5 to 8% move down. We haven't really had that except for back here, in late August, early September. But remember, it's a roller coaster. It's not a straight line. And the time to make decisions about your portfolio is not every time there's a 1% down day, right? You'd always be on the sidelines. But if you look at that 5 to 8% down, now it's where's this thing going? You have to make a judgment call on decisions in your portfolio at that time. So anyhow, that's where we are. If we get a nice big update today, that brings us back to the top of this candlestick, and things are now back to what I would call normal, if that's the case. Let's look at the 5-day of the SPY. There it is. So you can see here was Friday. This was Monday through Friday of last week, especially Friday, that sell-off right into the close. We've already kind of made that up, and then not really trending, more trending sideways going into the open. So keep an eye on it. And then, of course, our day trading charts, we're going to have the SPY. We have GameStop over here because that's fun to watch. Silver, and then Icon. I may adjust those to throw one of our shorts in as well. A couple of pretty good short stories out there as well for this morning. Okay, let's go ahead and go over to CNBC and take a look at the headlines this morning. Okay, there's our futures in the green. We'll refresh that real quick. Sold off a little bit. NASDAQ was up almost 1.2 at some point. Europe, everything's basically across the board is green. So Europe in the green, Asia in the green. These are up almost 1% across the board. There were the big ugly numbers from Friday. Yep, 2% move down. Cry it out, baby bunny, that sort of thing. So don't worry, there's one day. And a lot of people were not wanting to hold into the weekend because of the volatility. And of course, the market was going to crash and go to zero and all that nonsense that was blowing up CNBC last week. So I think those people that kind of felt silly that sold into Friday thinking, oh gosh, this is the weekend the world ends. It's like, maybe I need to put that money back to work, because sitting in cash is getting you nowhere. All right, nothing going on in bonds of note. Oil uptick a little bit. Okay, here's your move in silver, which is what we're talking about today. So up 11%. Now, if Reddit Nation goes into this, and I'm looking at another screen we'll get to in a minute. If Reddit Nation goes into this big, Yeah, I think, yeah, you could easily see 40, 45, 50 today, because that's the power of the army and the masses. Is it justified? No. Would it hold? Probably not long term. I mean, why? Um, but certainly, you see the squeeze play. The most the silvers jumped in 11 years. Okay. Again, long-term wealth building. This is a sideshow. If you're looking out there, you got a smaller portfolio or side money, and you want to take a swing at something, silver long we'll be taking a look at. All right, last one. Bitcoin. What's going on in Bitcoin? 33,000. Remember, it went around to 30 last week or so. It's kind of on its way up. We did a piece Friday on Elon Musk, which the internet loved. Got more views on that than anything else. Is Elon Musk the new roaring kitty? Maybe that was the just the best title I've had. But anyhow, pretty good response to that. Okay, let's take a look at headlines. Hey, there's a couple of NBA players. Durant's one of them, and I can't remember the other one, that are partnering together for this app called Goal Setter. I said I would come back to it. I haven't done a piece on it because the Wall Street Bets thing kind of took that out. But if you look at the Goal Setter app, you tie your kid's debit card. So if I have my kids on debit cards, if you don't consider, but yeah, so they have their own money. They learn to use a card, swipe it, sign it, blah, 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 blah. You can cut it off if they're pissing you off, that sort of thing. But when you get into, they have to every Sunday answer a financial literacy quiz, and they have to take it until they pass it in order to, otherwise they're locked out of their card, which is kind of funny. So it's a goal from these NBA players to help build financial literacy. I applaud any effort in that space, and I think it's a really cool idea. And again, Goal Setter is the app. I don't know that this is related, but that made me think of that. All right, GameStop shares falling after climbing 18%. Yep, it was up at 390. Now it's down to 312. We'll see. Again, GameStop, it's going to end up down below 10, right? I mean, I think everyone knows that. It's just how it gets there and who pays the price of it doing so. All right, Robinhood locked out 50 stocks. They're down to locking out 8 only. You can only buy one GameStop share. So again, that's huge pressure to the downside. $312 stock doesn't get you much when hedge funds are dumping it. All right. Clubhouse, Elon Musk on Clubhouse. I have not seen that. All right. I don't see anything. Hey, he's a supporter of Bitcoin again. That was, well, this is 2 minutes ago, but again, it was Thursday night when 2:22 in the morning is when he said, in retrospect, it was, I can't remember exactly what it was, 5 words, but anyhow, said it's an eventuality or something like that. All right. Yeah, Robinhood looking bad out of all this. A lot of people are jumping ship. You're just going to have a lot better experience if you go with Schwab. That's what I'm saying. That's not an ad. That's just like fact, because it's a deeper bench, even though they did have to restrict some stuff. Okay, let's take a look at, here's GameStop. That's the story. Again, 325 was the close. It's down at 310 right now. I think it's probably I think the story's played out. I think the generals on Wall Street Bets have moved on, even though they're still saying hold the line. They're trying to, the smart money is going to get out, and I think it's going to come in. So I would not take any long at all here in GameStop. Here's your silver chart, if you will. Take a look at this. Pretty good entry point, but you don't get this because it's up at 30 right now. It's up at 27.59. So it's even right there at the top of the chart. So a new recent high, if you will. But the fact that, it's not exponential like GameStop is. It's really within reach of where it has been lately. So it's interesting. And then the last one is Iconics. Iconics is a like Express. It's a Left 4 Dead fashion thing. So it popped all the way up to 420, settled back down, closed at 285. It's actually down at 247 right now, and it does not appear moving. So maybe it stopped out. But anyhow, that's getting a lot of chatter this morning as well. All right, over to Schwab. We'll take a look at some other stuff. If you look in the chat, I'll put those in there one more time for the new names that just popped in that are here for the trading. Wall Street Bets long silver and Icon, long CVAC. So let's take a look at CureVac. CureVac is up on a manufacturing headline for COVID. So this is my type of long, 89 up to 97. It's got room to run. So I like that. Also ASPL. Aspirational Consumer, this is a SPAC for Wheels Up. Wheels Up is the fractional jet ownership. I normally hate those things, but this is a SPAC and it just got released. It's up 9% pre-market and it has plenty of volume in the name and a nice trading point, 1053 to 1134. So hanging out right in here. So those would be the two longs. On the short side, we have DuPont coming out of a merger this morning with IFF, International Fragrance and something or other. Anyhow, they are largely considered to be on the bad end of this. They're at 79. They dropped down to 73 with a lot of free fall below it. So that would be a short to take a look at. And then Nano X, also imaging, is also short, has plenty of volume and an FDA release that went negative there. So a couple of short options, if you will. All right, let's take a look over at Think Pipes and get set up. So what we're going to do, we're going to take GameStop down. We're going to have silver long here. That's going to be your long of the day. We'll call that. We'll have Icon here, and then we'll have CVAC over here. These are going to be all three longs. All right, welcome to the On Time On Target play of the day. You've got four panels in front of you. You got the S&P 500 on a 1 minute chart here. You've got a 1 minute of the silver chart here, which is in play, 1 minute of Icon, and then 1 minute chart of CVAC. These are all longs with the market pre going up. Okay, expect to take this silver trade pretty quick. There's the open. It's going to be a $1 stop, no, 60-cent stop. As soon as it goes back higher here, we're going to go in it. This is all profit taking. So 27.75 is going to be our point. If it comes back and hits it, this is going to be a long. Again, this is a Wall Street Bets long, so we're going to have a bigger stop than we normally have. You can see off to that left screen out of my peripheral vision, we've got the market going higher, bouncing off the 2% Friday. Okay, we just need a little bit of positivity out of silver here, and we're hopping in. 27.75 is the entry point. I've got the pencil ready. Tempted to take it here instead of waiting, but that's need to be patient. Might get a better entry. Okay, we're going to take 27.70 when it comes back up to 27.70, and it'll be a, let's go, 50-cent stop. Going to get even better, 27.60 with a 50-cent stop. Again, this will be a long. Icon's not working. That's selling off hard. CVAC's not really moving compared to silver here. All right, just being patient. So let's see, Icon definitely not working. Okay, 27, we finally got some green here. So 27.60 going long in silver. And looks like it's about to hit it. We're being patient though. I'm not going to take this Icon, but it does look like it hit a double bottom here. So if you're going to take it, go 245 and then go long from there. Market selling off a little bit. So again, 27.60. Making a little mark there for myself as I surf around a little bit. Okay, looks like it's going to hit it now. Maybe not. We'll see. I'm on another screen working something else. There it is, 27.60. So in silver long, SLV long. So there's our entry point. It's a 50-cent stop. So down to 27.10. So this is the arrow for going up. So exit point would be, so the first R is 28.10, and then 29.10 would be the exit. So this screen is, let's see if we zoom out a little bit, if we can get to those. 27.10 way down here is the, so we don't even really have to worry about that now. So we're in that trade. Let me take care of a couple things here on my own while we watch that trade. And then again, Iconic, kind of hanging out down here. Don't see it getting a tremendous amount of love. Have to do one thing real quick that is important to get out of the way. Okay. All right. So we're in the trade here. Again, it's 50 cents. We got the arrow going up, and let's surf around and take a look at these other trades. Not really caring for this Iconic too much. There's our arrow. Let's back out on the market here a little bit. All right. So CVAC is not working. Our other long was ASPL. We're on the right screen. Not really screaming higher either. Let's take a look at our shorts. DD with the merger. That bounced up pretty good. Nothing going on there. Market might be a little strong for that. And NNOX. Again, that's bouncing up. So neither of the shorts are working. So again, silver long with the Wall Street bet it thing is your best bet as far as the trade. And that's the one we are in this morning. All right, let's leave that for right now. Make sure your stop is again 27.10. It's way down here. I think that's plenty safe, but just make sure you have it in because we're going to leave the screen to go off and see what's going on. All right, so there's some names there. Give me just a second. Do one other thing. Monday mornings are a touch busy. All right. And then we will take a look at those names real quick. All right, there we go. All right, got Clickstream up. Fubo TV is up again. That's largely been in a Wall Street Bets thing, but it was kind of strong before that. Can't remember what SE is offhand. Let's take a look. C Limited ADR. Oh, that's a tech firm if I remember right. So, all right, Workhorse back in play. You know, we've talked about that lately. We'll bring that up for Workhorse. Again, that's with Biden saying the EV fleet's going to go, the vehicle fleet is going to all electric vehicle. All right, let's see what else. K-Web up big. We like that. AVAV, that's the AeroVironment. Tencent Holdings up. I don't see Luckin here on the leaderboard. Let's take a look for Luckin real quick. Okay, and see why. All right, went down to closed around 1085, so it's up 4%, back over 11 today. We like that. Let's take a look on the red side. Bitcoin down, not much though, 3.8%. Let's see, trade. I thought I saw Trade Desk. It's not though. Palantir down a little bit, hardly anything down. So really, when you look at that, not much to even worry about there. So we go right back long and check back in on our trade. Okay, so again, this is one of these, just continue to hold this while it picks up some momentum here. So let's see, the first is at 28.10 is even the first R, so it's got a lot of room to run there. Okay, let's go over to CNBC. We're going to talk margin real quick. Let's get rid of GameStop, SLV, Icon, and margin definition. Okay, so if you have an IRA, Roth IRA, traditional IRA, SEP IRA, any of these, you don't have margin, right? You cannot have margin in an IRA. However, if you have a taxable account, which if you do some day trading, you'll need to do most of it in a taxable account, because you cannot short in a in an IRA, because you need margin to be able to short. So to short, you need to, like we talked about on Friday, you need to borrow those shares and then sell them. Well, you've sold them, but you've still borrowed them. So that's the margin piece, is you are actually taking a loan from those things. So that's why you need that. So in either an individual account or taxable account, you're going to have a margin. If you just open it up, you generally have about a 50% margin. So that means if you put 5,000 into a account, you generally can buy $10,000 worth of stock, or 7,500, depending on exactly where the margin is. And each individual stock has a margin requirement. There's tiers, right? So if you buy something highly speculative, it's going to be a tighter margin on you than if you buy like Target or Costco or something that doesn't bounce around a whole lot. So if you're buying on margin, don't do that. In my opinion, you have not earned the right to invest if you still have, credit card debt and, those sorts of things. You need to kill off all of the debt, then go into investing. But you're borrowing money to invest. So what it does is it amplifies your gains and losses. Now, if you're good at what you do, then you can make a lot of money. However, if you take a couple of misses, you're amplifying that risk. So instead of, I use a 3-to-1 risk every day for day trading, that we take a trade, you're actually taking that and amplifying that by whatever margin you're at. So that's the key takeaways here. Money borrowed from the broker, and again, you're paying an interest rate on this. It's only a little bit, and you're only borrowing generally for days, so you don't really care. But the brokerage makes a ton of money from this. That's why they can offer free trading. Amplify both gains and losses. In the event of a loss, a margin call may require your broker to liquidate securities without prior consent. And this happened last week, right? So you've borrowed money, and then your trade works against you, and you start hitting these ratios. Well, you can get a soft margin call where they just basically send you an alert, an email saying, hey, you're in a range that we don't like. You have either 2 or 3 days to fix it, right? That's one of those, you see that, OMG, that's a margin call. Well, that's a soft margin call. It's kind of you're in the yellow, if you will. If it hits the red, though, if your trade continues to go against you, boom, they're going to start selling stuff. That's a hard margin call. If you get a hard margin call before 1 o'clock Eastern, you have time to fix it. If it's after 1 o'clock Eastern, then they'll fix it. Or if it hits 1 o'clock Eastern and you haven't done anything about it. I have not seen a hard margin call in an account. I have seen soft margin calls. I didn't cause it, but folks that are in there, they have accounts with me, but they're also actively trading in them. So I see what's going on, and all of a sudden, boom, see somebody hit a stop, and I get an alert, which helps me, reach out to them and go, hey, you got an alert here. How do you want to play this? So again, I'm not trading for the client. The client's trading on their own, but I am monitoring it. So normally when you open an account, you get 2 by margin. If you're a pattern day trader, you need to have over 25,000 in your account. And if you do, I think 3 day trades in 5 days, and you become a pattern day trader, meaning you have 4x. But so that's the most that I know of that an individual investor can get margin. So I have 4x margin. So if my trading account is, say, $50,000, then it has to be 25, otherwise you can't have it. But say it's 50, that means I could buy or sell up to $200,000 of a single stock in one transaction. So pretty decent sized power, if you will, for a trader out there. If you're trading less than 25K in your account right now, you're going to work your way up to this if you stick with trading, that sort of thing, over time. So that is all I have for margin. Let's go ahead and go back over there. So the big point is, don't use margin unless you really know what you're doing. Okay, our trade is fine in at 2760. Again, huge stop, double our normal size. So we've got 2810 as the first R, and then 2910 is your upper limit, looking for the 3X there. So, all right, that's what I've got for you today. Thanks for listening in. Everybody's awfully quiet this morning, so waking up to the Monday, but the market is up big, and it looks like it's holding. S&P is at 1%, NASDAQ up 1.3%. So again, tech names getting some love after selling off hard on Friday. With that, we'll catch you guys tomorrow.